Pull it right up here on the screen. Let's see here. So the fight is going to be on October the 7th in the Manchester Arena on Sky Sports. Former three-division world champion. He was a champion at 130, champion at 135, and champion at 140 pounds. Rickey Burns, 41, 6-1 with 14 KOs. He's had a lot of fights. He's 34 years old. And you can consider this for both of these fighters, him and Anthony Crolla, even though their careers, if anybody's career was more in jeopardy, in my opinion, it would be Rickey Burns in this fight. He's fighting Anthony Crolla, not Corolla. People always over in the UK want to correct me. It's just maybe because, I don't know, the way, my pronunciation. Like it's Crolla, like Crow, Crolla. So Crolla himself has 6 losses, 31, 6-3, and he's been, in some wars himself. When you look at the fight against Darlys Perez, both of those fights, the second fight, many people didn't feel he was going to win, won a world championship, went on to dismantle Ismael Berrioso in a fight where he looked the best he looked in his career. I remember I covered that fight and then went on and had those 2 fights with Jorge Linares. Even though the first fight was somewhat close, Jorge Linares won in majority of the fans' eyes. The second fight, Jorge Linares just pretty much schooled him, outboxed him. Now Jorge Linares is moving on to go on to fight Luke Campbell to defend his title here in the States over in LA. What's that, September the 23rd. So the question I have is this. What weight is this fight happening at? Crolla's last fight was at 135, for 135 pound, unification championship, that WBC Diamond and that WBA. But Rickey Burns has been fighting at 140. And truth be told, he shouldn't be, Rickey Burns shouldn't be going back down to 135 if you ask me. So let me read this. Here's the press release. I'm sure the information is probably in here. I'm just checking my emails, even though the fight was announced probably like 4 or 5 hours ago. But right now it's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 7th, 2017. 9:30 a.m. in the morning, so it's real early. So here's the press release. Anthony Crolla and Rickey Burns will clash in a must-win lightweight battle. Fighting at 135? At the Manchester Arena on October the 7th, live on Sky Sports. The former world champions will be looking for a huge win to get back into range for world title and continue their glittering careers at the top level. Crolla enjoyed a roller coaster ride as WBA king. He wasn't king at WBA champion, but not king on 135. Starting with his canceled challenge against Richard Abril when he heroically challenged robbers at his neighbor's home in December 2014. I forgot about that. After recovering from a skull fracture and a broken ankle, $1 Million finally got a fight shot July against Darlys Perez at the Manchester Arena, but was edged out in a controversial draw. The pair rematched at the same venue 5 months later, and Crolla took his second chance out of the judges' hands with a stunning 6-round KO from a brutal body shot. Crolla delivered the same salvo against dangerous mandatory child Ismael Barroso in May 2016 to halt the Venezuelan in 7 rounds. Then, of course, he went on to fight Jorge Linares. But it's like this, right? This is a fight I will be covering. This is a fight, obviously, I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to have people there. But what does the fight really mean? Now, the fact that they're fighting at 135, who are you giving the edge to? Rickey Burns is the bigger fighter and the stronger fighter. But should Rickey Burns be back fighting at 135 pounds again, which is, question. If you don't know, Rickey Burns had some magic worked by him. He was in some financial situations after he had left Frank Warren, or Frank Warren released him. I forgot what the situation was. But then working with Eddie Hearn pretty much rebuilt his career and got him a chance to fight Carrero Rolak. That was him, right? No, it was Michel DiRocco for that WBA title. Now remember, there was talks of Rickey Burns versus Adrian Broner at one point in time, but Adrian Broner was out doing dumb shit and, having issues making 140. Now, Adrian Broner is fighting at 140. He can comfortably make 140, but, he still has issues with punch output, and he lost to Mikey Garcia. So I'm wondering, what are they trying to accomplish? Let me go look at the rankings here at 135 pounds. What are they trying to accomplish? And it's interesting to see who they're going to go after. Is this Eddie Hearn positioning his fighter, either, Rickey Burns, or another fight with Anthony Crolla against Jorge Linares, or what if Luke Campbell wins? Maybe Crolla Burns, or no, excuse me, Campbell Burns, or Campbell Crolla. I can see, Eddie Hearn doing something like this. When it comes to that WBO situation with Terry Flanagan, don't even count them. And then, of course, you got that Robert Easter fight out there. But when you look at, 135-pound division, these guys are not ranked. Now the reason it says lightweight, so I'm assuming that they're saying 135 and not super lightweight or junior welterweight 140 pounds. So they're not ranked, and would this fight get them, a ranking in a division? Because right now, look at the 140-pound division. Let's see. Neither Burns or Crolla are ranked by the WBC. Let's see. Neither by the WBA, neither by the IBF, or neither by the WBO. So when I look at 135, you have Crolla, who's ranked number 4 by the WBA. He should be, remember, former champion. Number 11 by the WBC. Neither are ranked by the IBF, and neither is ranked by the WBO. So I guess it makes more sense for them to fight at 135 pounds, especially since Crolla is ranked by the WBC and the WBA. But whatever the case may be, it's going to be an exciting fight on paper, and I've always been somewhat of a quiet, I can't say quiet because I cover all his fights. I'm a Rickey Burns fan, even though I know his limitations and I know his skill set. I think he can beat Crolla, but the concern is that weight he hasn't fought at in now over 3 years. He last fought at 135 pounds was when he fought Dejan Zakatakanin. Right, didn't look good in that fight and then moved up, and then he was talking about the weight at that point in time. Remember, he had fought Terence Crawford when Terence Crawford got his first title over in Scotland for that WBO back in 2014 as well. So he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights, at 140 pounds. Have been very successful outside of Omar Figueroa, which happened over here in the States. But that was a good fight. Omar Figueroa just outworked him. But since then, since joining 140 pounds, I'm talking about legitimately joining 140 pounds because he's fought there earlier in his career. You may hear a lot of promoters or announcers say, well, he's making his debut at this weight. But a lot of times those fighters may have fought at those divisions earlier in their career or above whatever the weight limit was. But they'll just say, he's fighting at this division, now is where he's going to be. It's his debut since he's a known name now. But it really don't be their debut. So I don't know. I'm concerned about the weight. That's what I'm concerned about. But on Tissue Controversy, this is Tissue Controversy Live, October the 7th. On Sky Sports, Anthony Crolla versus Rickey Burns. It's going to be at lightweight. And let me see here if there's anything else in this press release that should be read. Nope. Undercard is going to be pretty stacked up, I guess. You might see a Conor Ben on there. Lawrence O'Colly. But no, they probably already have fights on other cards that's happening. Remember, you got that Klitschko versus Joshua. Fucking... He retired. It's early. Joshua versus Pulev fight that could, be happening. But anyway, I'm Tissue Controversy. This is Tissue Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. All the links on my social media right down below in the description box. Also, let me take this time to say this. Listen, we're looking for help. We will take care of your travel expenses as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's not saying we're going to be shipping people, hundreds of miles away. Now, if it's reasonable, if you're good, and you're interested in covering boxing, no matter what you do, we need help at FightView 360. We have a strong, growing team. We're just starting to get everything organized with the team, and basically we're bringing more people on. So even though you see me, if you notice, we're getting a lot of content from overseas. We're under like a major expansion, so we need help. If you're interested in helping, email me, at editor, that's EDITOR, at FightView360.com, And we're making some major moves. All right? So if you're a writer, if you're a videographer, if you know how to do graphic design, if you know how to do music, anything that you can offer us, please feel free to contact, and we will talk about what we can do. All right? So far, we pretty much have all the major fights so far covered for the fall.
We can do
Covered for the fall, but we still need more help. Please subscribe.